Hey guys, Star Watch Media here at the Hamptons International Film Festival with Samantha Gash and Jennifer Steinman of the film Desert Runners. So for everyone who hasn't seen the movie, tell me about this spectacular journey that you're documenting.
Well, Desert Runners is about a group of amateur runners who decide to attempt the 4 hardest desert ultramarathons in the world. So there are these 155-mile races through the Atacama Desert in Chile, the Gobi Desert in China, the Sahara Desert, and then the final race is actually through Antarctica.
So for you, Samantha, you're clearly an alien, because to me that sounds like it's terrifying. So, how did you get involved with this kind of sports?
I'm definitely not an alien. Really, I just think, I did my first marathon, and when I finished, I was absolutely crippled. There was no way I could walk up the stairs the next day, and I was sitting around a table with a bunch of friends, and one of them was a lady who was in her 50s, and she spoke about this 4 desert series, and she said in 2010 she was going to do all 4 of them. And when she told me that, I thought, I'd like to do just one of them. And I liked the sound of like the self-survival, being completely sufficient on your own to carry everything that you needed to survive for 5 days in a pack on your back. So all your food, your sleeping bag, your medical equipment, I think that really appealed to me. And each night you slept in tents with people from countries all over the world. So I thought it was an adventure. Yeah.
So how did you become involved in documenting this process? I mean, it's definitely something I can see from a filmmaker's eye that's appealing. But how did you guys meet, and when did the project begin?
Well, I actually first met one of my other characters in the film is a funny, wacky Irish guy named David O'Brien, who's in his late 50s. And I met him at a conference, and he announced what he was going to attempt to do. And I had a similar reaction to you, which was, I think you're an alien. And I was like, that's insane. I had never heard of anything like that. And I also kind of couldn't believe that that guy thought he could do it, because it seemed to me like something you would only imagine the most professional elite athletes would even dare to attempt. And so, and I was just really taken by this idea of what makes somebody think they can do something that other people think is impossible. And what's that all about? How do we all come up with our own perceived limitations of what we think we can or can't do, and why is that different for everybody? So why does one person say I can do something that another person says no way, and just kind of what is all that all about? And I'm not a runner myself, but I was really drawn to it from that idea of what is that psychology, what is that mindset, what makes these people tick, what makes, and why is this not crazy? Because the first thing everybody says when they hear about this is, oh my God, those people are crazy, right? So that was one of my biggest questions to everybody out there, was why is this actually not crazy? Why in your mind is this not crazy? And that's kind of what the film's about.
Well, I think you can answer that. So for you, why is this not crazy? Why is this something that, you're drawn to?
I just don't think anything's crazy if you put the right preparation into physically and mentally preparing yourself to be able to do it. I think the idea of crazy is the unknown, and I personally really thrive off putting myself in situations that are outside of my comfort zone. And I think as soon as people, so Jen's not a runner, but I think you're less likely to say that the people who do these races are crazy, having viewed that it's really just one foot in front of the other. It's about being mentally very strong. Physically, you can be less strong than you have to be mentally strong. So there were people who had the most amazing, physical bodies, and you would think that they would have done really, really well. But for whatever happened, their bodies break down, everyone's body breaks down after a few days, but their mind had given up, so they pulled out. And then there was overweight people who didn't look like they trained at all, but were just mentally prepared themselves for being out there for a really long time, and they got to the finish line. So it's about how tough you want to be in here as opposed to your body.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we love seeing movies that stretch our ability to comprehend the human capacity to survive. I think that's a theme with a lot of movies that are out right now. At Dallas Buyers Club and 12 Years a Slave, at Gravity even, you leave going, the human body is capable of a lot. So I'm curious in what way, as a filmmaker, that you reevaluated your own capacity for strength.
I'm just sort of interested in those kind of issues, what are these things that make people tick? Because I do believe we're all capable of so much more than we think we are, and we have examples of that all around us. And for me, like, yes, this is a movie about running, but it's totally not a movie about running. It's a movie about being human, and like, what does that mean to be willing to push yourself beyond your comfort zone, and why there are people doing that every day, and we all kind of have that capacity. So, I mean, I think that's, I'm not sure if I'm answering your question, but that is my area of interest. Like, I like digging into that, you know?
So how does it feel to be premiering at the film festival? What has reception been like so far?
It's been great. We love it here. This is our East Coast premiere. We've been on a little tour of the world in the last couple of months, and yeah, I mean, we've all sold out shows. People are loving it. We've won some audience awards, which is my favorite award to win, because it's, you know, it's just the ultimate, like, you know, thank you from the fans, which means the most to me as a filmmaker. So it's been really fun. It's been.
And what about for you?
It's a whirlwind to see a year of your life captured on like TV, and things that were incredibly painful whilst I was going through them, and like absolute joy at the same time. So, and, you know, when in your life do you have a snapshot created like this, like other people viewing? It's pretty full on.
Well, it sounds phenomenal. Thank you, ladies, so much, and congratulations.
Yeah,